And three, two, one, boom. And we're back from another episode of Crack Gamers. This episode sponsored by Zen Real Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories, or just check out the free Zen Real Radio at zenrealclothingco.com. Use SG Podcasts at checkout for 20% off select items. Okay, this is part 2 of our new normal series. We left off last week talking about the craziness that was happening. We couldn't get into everything, so we split it up into 2 parts. This one, hopefully, we'll talk about more of the opportunities, but I still have some of the stuff lingering from my list from last week that we didn't get to. So first off, masks. Vish, what do you think? You think we're going to wear masks forever?
No, not forever.
All right, well, obviously not forever. Okay, take that back. Do you think we're going to be wearing masks until we get a vaccine?
Like that's what it looks like right now. Since if they keep recommending it, people will wear it, right?
Totally. So I'm wondering, like, you know how it's like recommending? Is
Yeah.
that like a strong recommendation? Do you think there's any opportunity for like them to put into place like what do you call that? Not like I guess like a ticket, you know?
So it's not a strong recommendation like that, like by law. We don't have to wear it, but um, private retailers have the right to like set up rules that you can't enter without a mask, right?
Oh, really? Okay. So that's what they did. So I remember the first time I ever saw this was in H Mart. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like they didn't enforce it. Like people were, like I saw the sign and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back and get the mask, right?
Right.
Just out of courtesy, because I tried to like go in and like everyone was wearing a mask. It made me feel really awkward. But then like
Mm-hmm.
as I was shopping, there were a couple of other people who weren't wearing masks. So I was like, okay, so it's not like super enforced, I guess. But like maybe they're trying to follow suit for America, because I know in certain places in America it's like you actually cannot enter unless you wear a mask.
Yeah.
So you think that's what
I
they're
think that
doing?
I think there are some places here like that. Like they're telling you to wear a mask before you enter.
It's interesting that in the future, well, I mean, in the foreseeable future, masks are going to become like such a staple. You know, I went grocery shopping yesterday, and one of the one of the cars beside me, well, actually a few cars, they had their mask on the rear view
Yeah.
mirror.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, this is like becoming a thing, and it's cool because like different people are wearing different types of masks. Like I guess they're buying it off of like Etsy or whatever. They're making their
Mm-hmm.
own. You know, they're making
Yeah.
these cool like designer masks. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder like because in Asia masks are very common. You know, if you're sick, you're just gonna wear one.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we might adopt that practice here. Like, what do you think?
I think it might. There might be an increase in that. Personally, I just don't. I won't, but I don't know. I I, I think that like it's inevitable to see an increase in people wearing masks, but
But you personally are not preferent towards wearing a mask.
yeah.
I actually like the anonymity of it because like especially when I head back to like our area and like I know so many people, so I'm like try and like avoid. So like
Mm-hmm.
wearing a mask is at least a barrier in that. Like I'm not using it for germs. I'm using it more
Right.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
like social escapism, I guess, you know.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
me, it's just like another thing to carry. I don't like to carry things. Like I want
True,
to
true, true.
be as minimalistic as possible.
But
So in that way.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a lot of like hate towards masks too. Like on Joe Rogan Experience, like Eddie Bravo was calling them like diapers on your face, and I was like, oh wow, there it is. It's like you're starting to get like not racism, but like maskism. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, no, it's just a weird thing. Like we're as a society, we're not used to that, right? So whenever we're doing something that's not of the norm, we will make fun of it, right?
totally. Do you see it as like a it because of like legalities around it, right? Like if they start forcing you to wear certain things or like forcing you to get tested, doesn't that kind of seem like breaking your freedoms.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's a
Yeah.
little weird. It's interesting to see from this whole thing as like an exercise how much lack of power there is, because you think there's a certain level of freedom, but then when push comes to shove, it's like we could shut everything down if we want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a display of true power.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's for depends on the cause. But I do see what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's weird too, because like this whole time, like even before the whole COVID thing, I was
Mm-hmm.
saying how another example of the exercise of power is taxes. You know,
Yeah.
you could almost like classify what they're doing now in that vein of taxes. You know, it's like it's for the greater good. We also need
Mm-hmm.
to do our part, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like because we have to pay taxes on everything, it's like you don't really have that much power. Like you still have to, no matter how much freedom you think you have, it's like you're still limited to the freedoms allotted to you. It's not like we're actually free, you know?
Yeah. No. But you're paying those taxes to get those allotted freedoms, right? In freedoms in the sense of like each society is a bit different, but like what you're paying into, right? What are you gaining out of the country or the local area that you're at, right? So
Like a give and take. It's like, yeah, you're here, but we're offering you like fixing roads and all that.
yeah, yeah,
Is like how would you classify? Is it like a collective? It's like this collective pot we're putting our money into, and then that pot is used to like do things that we don't want to necessarily pay for ourselves.
yeah.
You know?
So it's like doing yes, yeah. It's like that. It's like but growing the city, so you need money to do that, right? So that is from those taxes where you do that. So why we have the level of transit system or whatever that is that helps people maneuver around the city much more easily, but you're all paying into that, right?
Right, right, right.
If you do it individually, I think that's like the libertarian way. I don't think people would put money in if they don't have to.
I agree with that. Yeah, totally. I mean, especially if you don't have that much money already, like why would you be adding,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
That I do like that in a way. It's like if you build it into the products, you don't actually have to worry about who's going to pay for this. It's like the product money is going to pay for this.
Yeah.
You know, well, one of the guesses is that in the future there's going to be a higher tax for us because they got to pay back the debt that they paid to all of us. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, there. This is what they say is it might be like this will have an impact like generationally.
Okay.
Uh, like there because of the like all this money we're spending, it might affect like ours retirement or like that kind of stuff. I don't know, like if they
Oh,
would have to
really? Eh?
the,
Wow.
push the date of retirement, like these sort of things are generational impacts.
They I saw this morning that people were talking about bringing back grade 13,
Yeah.
like as like a generational thing, like we were just talking about. They
Hmm.
This could affect like so many things going forward. You know.
I just don't like. I don't know how that would work even with grade 13 because it's like you're mainly just talking about the people who are in grade 12 now, right?
True. True. True.
Uh,
True. Right. Right.
but
Right. Right.
they're already going to university next year, so I don't I don't see a reason to bring back grade 13. But yeah,
Like actually, in keeping with that university thing, could you imagine being the first like like your first year going into
hmm
university and
yeah,
it's online, you know, you getting like no frosh week, although I didn't go to frosh or anything, but like
nor did I.
yeah, right. So it's like, but you know, a lot of people are craving that university experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. But in some ways, it could potentially also mean saving money. So if you're doing online, if all your classes are online, you don't have to live on res.
Yeah, that's totally, but like I know like a lot of people want that
Hmm.
experience, you know, they're like,
Right. Yeah, there is a significant percentage of people that want that too. That's why they have Raj Week, right? People do
but
go to that. So
but it's so funny how it's like such like a societal norm, you know, we're placing our emphasis on things that aren't related to education, whereas universities were made for education. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
It's like,
I think it's,
okay,
yeah, it is education, but it's also where you meet new people, and sometimes these become longtime friends, right?
yeah, yeah. I
I think it's true for a lot of people. It's just not true for us, I guess. But
true.
if you look at it percentage wise, it is true for a lot of people.
Remember how I said that when there's like lifestyle marketing, so insurance companies, when I was working in Hong Kong, they like enlightened me to this. So
Hmm.
insurance companies, they try and sell you a lifestyle narrative in
Right.
order to get you to fit into these boxes and follow a certain trend, right?
Hmm.
Like go to university, get your first car, get your first job, get a house, get kids, do it all over again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, it's interesting that with this whole university experience now, because most likely their first semester is going to be online and they won't have frosh and all that stuff, it's like you're really seeing that life is just a narrative that's been pushed onto us, you know? And I think that's where you and I were like, we jumped outside of the norm, being like, I don't think that's valid. Just because you're telling me that I should like this doesn't mean I should like it, you know?
But I don't. I think it's a mixed bag here, because there are different types of people out there, right, that are into different things. So people that want to make new friends, or like you're going to a new school, or you know what I mean, like
Right. Yeah, yeah, no, I see your point.
I think it's a mixed bag. Like some people may have fallen for that narrative story, but then there's others that like that are that engage in that kind of stuff, right? That they want that kind of stuff
Right, right, right.
naturally. Yeah. So it it's because these things are, you can say it's more for like people who are what's the word, like people who are
Conformists?
no, 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 like not conformists, no, like introverts and extroverts, right? It's like those active
Oh, I see what you're
very
saying.
extrovert type of thing, like, right?
Right, right, right.
And staying at home, or like online, is very introverted sort of type of thing. So
But you know what's interesting too though? Like it's really Hollywood that pushed that like narrative upon us.
mhm.
You know, like nobody said that university and college is going to be like X, Y, and Z. It's just Hollywood was like, this is what you can expect. You know, because we watched so many going away to college movies. You know,
Yeah,
so the people probably grew up and they're like, oh, I want that to be my life. You know, like Neighbors, for
yeah, possibly,
example. You know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just weird because like especially in this like whole COVID time, we're starting to see the unraveling of like pushed upon social narratives that are being broken because we can't actually achieve them anymore. You know,
Yeah, the new, but the new narratives will be made, right?
no, totally. That's what I mean. It's like, but then
Yeah.
like I guess
Hmm.
you can float on with this and you could be like, okay, new narratives will be made, but at the same time, it's like I'm more so questioning what does a narrative really mean. You know, do I
Yeah.
have to follow X, Y, and Z? Not
Well,
really.
yeah,
You know.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think what
Yes.
really
Yeah.
hit home is Elon Musk because he went to school in Canada and he was saying that like universities are just like it's not really about higher education. It's more like a entertainment, you know, and like
Hmm.
can I live on my own stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
it's more so about like social stuff than actually achieving knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. At some people, I don't know if it's most, but yeah, Elon Musk on another level, right? He's
That's true. But shouldn't we all aspire to be like the best of humankind? You know what I'm saying?
not everyone can. So
I'm watching a new Elon Musk podcast that came out like a month ago,
yeah.
I think. Did you see it yet? He's like at a round table. He like invited these people to his house and then he's having a podcast with all of them.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. It's really good. He pushed like it's interesting that Elon Musk so they asked him like this question. I had no idea what he majored in, but he majored in economics and physics.
Hmm.
So that's why, because it's like, how do you know so much about how the world works? Yeah, because he's an economics degree as well as a physics degree, you know?
Right.
So it's like that scientist, like he's actually Tony Stark. He gets the business side, but also the science side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just like a
Right.
slight tangent. But
Yeah.
so do you think that there's like a new world? I know we spoke about this yesterday when we hung out, but like there's like a new world that's changing right in front of our eyes, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
like not a new world, but like a new way of governance. You know, because if you look at the way like government is set up, right, or like law, you have to look at the precedent, right? What happened beforehand, and then you use that to push your argument in current times, right?
Yeah.
But because things are shifting so rapidly and they're letting stuff go, it's like the precedent of now could be used in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like if something not as bad happens in the future, they're just like, well, it could be like COVID, so we'll use this precedent to get our law passed. You know,
Right. Yeah.
like if like flu 2.0 comes out in the future, like let's say we've solved COVID and then flu
Mm-hmm.
2.0 happens, and then they're like, okay, let's just lock everyone down. We did it already in COVID.
Yeah.
We should be able to do it again. You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You just really got to see how it plays out and what particulars are the situation because um, they had to shut down as per whatever guidelines, but like you were gonna hurt the economy in this. You don't know how much you've hurt the economy, but it's going to be hurt big time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. They're talking about the the upcoming housing crisis 2.0. So like we had one in 2008, but then there's gonna be another one because like, and this is a great example. And well, not a great example. This is actually what's gonna happen. I didn't even think about it, but like, Airbnbs that are all being rented out can't be paid their mortgages, or like people that are renting out their house to subletters. You know, like people
Yeah.
that like live in your basement, and then they can't pay who are in the basement, and then that's going to end up affecting their ability to pay back their mortgage. So you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
this domino effect of like a housing collapse again, you know,
Yeah.
which is
But
it's
it's,
kind of
yeah,
freaky.
it's not just housing. It's going to be more than that. It's not like it'll be worse than 2008. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, totally. So because it's not even housing. It's like renting properties too, right? Because like
Yeah.
stores can't pay the rent. So what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? You know?
Yeah. And these companies shutting down so many stores. That's another thing. A lot of vacant lots.
Totally. And I think that's what we're gonna see post this. It's like not only was the COVID issue there, but like, you know, what do we do after? The solution is
Yeah.
gonna be hard. Like I
In
really don't.
some ways, I
Yeah.
think it's some of these things that are going out of business and stuff. It was inevitable before. It just would have taken a bit longer time. All I think what COVID has done is just increase that rate, right? Like a lot of these stores would have been gone in maybe another 4 to 5 years, maybe, because everything's
Right. Right.
shifting
Right.
online already. It's just now had a huge increase in people going towards online, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah. Brick and mortar is like totally gone. Everything's it like we might look at the future as like pickup locations now. You buy everything online, you just go to the pickup location,
yeah,
you know.
but it was already happening, right? These things that was already happening. It was just like they knew that was going to be where the
The
future would
trend.
go.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally, totally,
that
totally,
was
yeah.
the trend, and it's just this just
Got
upped it
it.
up.
Got us there
Maybe
quicker.
it got us there quicker. Yeah, yeah.
Cuz I
So
wondered, yeah.
like a lot of these stores already weren't doing well,
Right,
especially
right, right.
competing with the big guys like Amazon. Like they're really affecting a lot of these other companies, and Amazon's seeing a huge uptake. But that would have happened naturally, anyways.
Ye- Totally, I agree. And remember, we were saying that this was a great validation when I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast. I was like, all right, cool. Like Brian Callen was talking about it, but before we were saying that in the future we think that there's going to be conglomerates, like not conglomerates, but like certain major companies that run everything. Like you're just going to have like Amazon, Google, Walmart,
Hmm.
and then all of these small mom and pop shops will be gone. They'll control the entire market, and
Yeah.
yeah, like that was the projected future, it
Hmm.
just seemed
Hmm.
logical. And Brian Callen, he brought that up. He's like, that's what it's going to look like in the future. And I was like, oh yeah, our prediction was correct. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. That would have been put off for years, but now we're
Yeah.
like face to face with it
Yeah.
because of this like global pandemic. But do you remember back in 2008 when they were trying to fix the bubble, and then I think it was like 2012, Obama had this choice to make. Either he doesn't take a bailout. I don't remember the exact specifics, but like unless you do, and it's like perfect, like remind me. But do you remember like Obama was either going to sign this thing and then accept a bailout, which would push back the year that the crash would happen to like 2020 something, or he would accept no bailout and then they would have the crash right then. Like it was all over CNN, and it was like we were watching it like, is he gonna go for the deal or not go for the deal?
Yeah, there was many like the bailout questions were happening at that time, and that was bailing out the banks. I think that was the thing, or GM or whoever it was.
Something like that, yeah. But it would affect the global economy. Like either the global economy would crash at that moment, or if he accepted like an extension. But then he ended up accepting an extension, which makes sense. But it's almost like with that extension, and we're coming up to it, when the money will be due, and they won't be able to pay it back. That's what they're saying. Like in the future, they won't
Hmm.
be able to pay it back. But if you extend it, at least we have more of a grace period to like try and figure things out. But then with this whole COVID thing, it's like another thing that got revved up is this the debt you already owe plus the debt
Yeah.
you're incurring right now.
Hmm.
So like
Yeah.
that's why I think
But
we're
yeah,
in
like
agreement.
what does the debt mean? Like America now is like how many trillions in dollars now? I mean, like especially with what's happened now, right?
I
It's
think
already increased that amount.
I think debt, because like I think debt is more of a bargaining chip now. I don't think debt is real. You know, it's more
Hmm.
like, because if you're going country to country, right? It's like America owes
Yeah.
like trillions and trillions of dollars. Canada owes like trillions of dollars. But like, no, we're not expecting each other to pay it back. What you're doing is you're paying the minimum, and then the more debt you have against another country is the more you owe them, and the more
Yeah.
bargaining power they have to be like, okay, pay me back now. And if you can't pay
Yeah.
it back, it screws up your economy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like if you think about it on basic lenders, like if you lend me money, like you lend me $5 and then I lend $2 to another person who has a great idea and promises a return on that $2. And then
Yeah.
when it comes time to pay, I'm like, hey man, where's the $2 plus the return? Because I have to pay you back.
Hmm.
And we can't, and he can't pay me, I can't pay you. We're having this like merry-go-round of who owes who, and then it just breaks the system.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're facing right now. It's like you lent to me, I lent to someone else, he lent to someone else. Now we're trying to back pedal our way to like pay each other back.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was what happened in 2008. Like it's a whole bigger thing, but it something that happened in the 90s, that what Bill Clinton did triggered that to
Oh
eventually
really?
happen.
No
Yeah.
way, really?
So
Do you
like
know the
there
specifics?
yeah, so there was this thing called Glass-Steagall, like for the banks, basically they cannot um bid with your money. They can only bid with the profits they make.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, that's exactly what I'm
So
talking about.
yeah, so Bill Clinton, when he removed the Glass-Steagall, that means banks can play with your money.
Oh, and that is exactly why we're here.
Yeah.
Huh. When I was taking economics in school, like the class, they
Hmm.
they brought they were explaining this to us, like how debt works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I just explained to you, but like on a very dumb, like obviously their version was way more difficult. I just tried to dumb it down.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like that is essentially what's going on, right? Like lenders owing lenders, and but they didn't mention this deal, this Glass Deagle thing or whatever. So
Well,
like,
yeah,
but because I went like I
yeah.
joined school like way later since it was signed. But it's interesting how like one
Well, yeah. When you
thing.
joined, I think it was already gone, right? Bill Clinton is the one that removed it. So
Oh, he removed that Glass Deagle thing. Wait, what?
yeah, yeah. He removed it. It
Oh, it
was
was in
put in.
place to
It was in
protect.
place. Yeah, exactly. It was in place before to protect people's money.
Oh
So
my God! Wow, that's
yeah,
pretty crazy. Wow,
yeah.
that's
That's
pretty
why
crazy.
no issue. That's why there was for like a long time. There was no problems with bailing out the banks and stuff because that the Glass Steagall was put in there. It was I don't know when it was put in. It was a while ago, but when it was removed um, in the '90s, sometime in the '90s, that's when it triggered all this. Like it was
Interesting.
eventually going to happen.
You know when you're taking money out of your line of credit, like so, if you have a
Mm-hmm.
line of credit and you're withdrawing money, it tells you don't use this line of credit money to like go into like gambling
Mm-hmm.
or like put it in a stock market or something, you know what I mean? They
Uh huh.
warn you against it, but it's legal. Like you can do it. Like again, they don't know what you're doing with your money. But like so what you're essentially saying is that was a restriction that they had in place, whereas like that's stupid investing to take out a loan in order to try and make back money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Glass Steagall thing was in place initially to stop people from doing that.
No, 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 no. Glass Steagall. It was the rules for the banks,
No, no,
right?
but what I'm saying is like, right, but I'm bringing it to like a personal level.
Yeah,
How like, but that's essentially what they did. They took our money.
yeah,
Like us
yeah.
would be like the line of credit.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're using our us, aka line of credit, to
Mm-hmm.
invest elsewhere to hopefully
Someone.
make
Yeah.
more money.
Right. Yeah.
But it's weird because it's like if they're doing that, but we're getting told like don't do this. Like when you're
Mm-hmm.
withdrawing or whatever, it's like don't do this. It's weird that they're doing it, but we're not doing it.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
not. They're advising us not to do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're
Well,
not
yeah.
even
This is
taking your own advice. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. This is the rule in America, or that was the thing. I don't know what it is here in Canada. I didn't look into all that, but
Okay, so
it was
maybe
what was done.
maybe that's why I have the restriction. Like it's like it warns you not to do that. I think it's illegal. I don't know. Is it illegal to do that? Maybe
I
it's
don't
not
know that.
illegal. But I remember like when I was getting that line of credit, I think the bank person told me, and then I had to like sign something. It's
Mm-hmm.
like don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, that would explain why we're in this predicament we are in now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but with shutting down the economy was also like,
Was not a part of the plan
yeah.
because that messes up the entire structure.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I heard this other
Uh,
thing is. Oh yeah, yeah. What were you saying?
no, like I think I heard it yesterday. Like Toronto, they don't have money for all these services. Like the amount of money that they need, they're asking the provincial and federal governments to essentially bail them out in a way,
Right, right, right,
because like the way that it works is like if we can't get the money, we're gonna need to like hike up the property taxes.
right, right, right.
We're gonna have to cut like our TTC transit in half. Uh,
Like,
we're gonna
speaking of that too, like I saw that the trafficking, like they're like sex trafficking, they stopped the funding for it.
oh, okay.
So
I didn't read
like,
that.
there's another example of it. It's like you are gonna have to start cutting back in order to pay these things, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And yeah, again, it's like you have no idea what is going to come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
when you owe money. Because it's like when you owe money, it's like, how are you going to pay that back? You have to do something, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be an interesting to see. I don't know.
All right, my prediction right now is
Mm.
we're going to merge economies with a country. Like, I mean, the most obvious one would be, since we're part of NAFTA, merging with, America and like Mexico. But I feel like that's
I
we're
don't know what that means. What do you mean by merging?
like like maybe like the EU,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Oh, I like. Okay.
like how all of these countries are a part of the EU because they
Right.
need their dollar to be high,
Mm-hmm.
so it's almost like I kind of feel like when push comes to shove, you might need to ally up, you know.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how that works exactly. So.
Like so basically, like if Canada owes money to a different country. Okay, no, no. All right,
Right.
so
Right.
let's put it back to people terms. So like I took money from you, and then
Mm-hmm.
that money I gave to somebody else who was supposed to give me a return, right?
Right.
And then that person who gave money to somebody else to get that return, if he doesn't get the return, he's like, hey, let's pull our money together, our money and our resources. Let's ally up, and we can have enough money to give back to me. See what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
when you owe money and you can't pay it, you have to do something to pay it back. So those people that person I gave the money to, if he can't pay me back and he's like, oh, this person's going to kill me, like think about like Ozark drug cartels, this person's going to kill me if I don't
Mm-hmm.
give me the money, he's going to try and ally up some people to pool their money together. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhat. Yeah.
So it's
But
like, so
these
like,
are not my best.
no, no, totally. Like, it's just a prediction. That's just what I
Right.
can see. Cause like, if we keep spending money at this rate and we can't pay ourselves back, but I mean, like at the same time, Trudeau's like, we have lots of money in reserve, so it's like maybe,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. But then, all right, think about future investing too. So this was brought up in that same podcast with Brian Callen. He's like, um, investing is all about future prediction, right? Can this person pay me back, right? But then
Yeah.
when you see a country so quickly to shut everything down, it's like, is it smart to put my money in here? Because what if it happens again? What if COVID returns? Like, why would I spend my money to build a business here? You know?
Mm-hmm. I think for a short term it might seem like that, but I think over the long term, these are like it's like one of those things when you design the building, design it for those 100-year storms. It's just like one of those random events that
True.
happen.
But
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 like it's
but also in terms of future investing, it's like, so investing means you're going to give money to help a business, right?
mm-hmm.
So we could actually see all future investing go purely digital now. Like people are like, the safest bet is to invest our money in digital platforms.
Right. Yeah.
So then that creates a new world naturally, because it's like, well, these businesses don't have any money to survive, so they're dead. The only ones that are surviving are tech companies.
Yeah. So I guess maybe more investment in tech companies. Yeah.
So I mean, that's how we're seeing something reshape in front of our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we could just be facing a completely digital world coming out of this.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. I want to get into the digitalness, but I have one more question. What do you think about plexiglass? You think that's gonna stay forever? Because you see in the grocery
Uh,
stores, like everything's being built. It's like, would you really take
yeah.
that down? I kind of feel like that's just gonna remain
No,
there.
that's going to remain there.
Yeah,
That's
right.
going to
Like it'll just
yeah.
stay there in case of like the flu is going on, or like this is just better for your safety.
Well, technically, yes, it is better in that sense. You're going to also reduce the spread of the flu. Right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, germs. Yeah.
So in a way, yes, they will. That will be kept up. I don't think they'll be removing that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that too. feel that too. Do you see? Okay, so that was my last thing. Let's talk about digital stuff now because this is where I'm super fascinated by. Do you see so Twitter? But this is kind of funny. So like Twitter is like, okay, everyone can work from home forever now. The CEO Jack Dorsey, and then
Yeah.
a separate a separate article. They're like, Square also announces this. The funny thing they don't tell you is Jack Dorsey owns both Square and Twitter. So it's like, so you think there's a trend. You're like, oh, people are going to work from home. All these big companies, like, but that one guy actually owns both companies. So if he does it for Twitter, of course he has to do it for Square. That's just not fair, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I really do feel like only certain things will be physical. Like, you're definitely going to be paid a premium to work in like a grocery store, for example. So like they were saying they were going to increase wages by $4, right, for people who work at grocery stores.
Okay. I didn't, did they say that?
I think so. Like additional pay, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Or maybe I'm getting my fact wrong. Whatever. So,
No, no,
yeah.
you might be right.
So premiums for those, and like I was saying that before, and it's like that really does seem like where it's gonna go. Because in order to venture out in this unsafe territory, you have to pay people, and like you were saying, your pay, if you work from home forever, your pay is going to be reflective of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe if you want to make more money, you get, I don't know. It's, yeah. Because it's weird. It's weird to like go around and see the only places with people fully like open is like department stores and like, fast food stores.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a really weird world to see. Like everyone's at home, and like the only people actually physically working are department stores and fast food stores, restaurants, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Did
I
yeah.
I like it will be like that for a short time or however long this takes, but I don't know if it will last. It-
No,
Like
but no,
there
but
will.
because from an HR perspective, right? I could just say I don't feel safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't feel
Yeah.
safe
No.
going to work.
Yeah. No. No. I understand that. I think there will be that impact will be there, of course, but there are. I don't think it's. And it'll be easier to do those in the tech world, but I just don't know. There's a lot of other types of businesses that just doesn't run like that.
Right. No, totally. Yeah. But that's why I think that maybe there'll be a premium for those businesses where you have to go in,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because, yeah, you're right. It's like, I mean, like, the HR thing, that's such an easy ploy. You could just be like, because even right now, it's like, oh, I'm feeling a cough. Come on. Don't have to work,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Or like, even like, if they're like, okay, we can all go back. Like, I'm so, like, I live with an old person. I don't feel safe unless a vaccine is ready. And then the vaccine's ready. I don't consent to having myself be vaccinated mandatorily.
Yeah.
And you can't fire me because employment law, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you can totally game the system, is what I'm saying. And I think they know
Yeah.
this, and that's why a lot of tech companies will stay solely like remote. Like if you can do your job remote, it's most likely it's just gonna stay that way forever.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Do you see Jack Dorsey also gave Andrew Yang $5 million to come up with a case for UBI?
Yeah. I saw the headline. I didn't read the article though.
But like I was saying, it's like it begins now because we're already doing it, you know? We're already like it makes sense. So if you've never heard his platform, I highly recommend checking out the Joe Rogan podcast with him on there because he explains it so well. And I was like, that's actually because he's a businessman, right? So
Yeah.
he was saying like licensing out places and then the money you get from licensing it out, like the title. So for example, everyone drives across like the Brooklyn Bridge, right? So then
Mm-hmm.
you sell it to Telus and it becomes the Telus Bridge. and then all the money from that like partnership goes towards like paying
Yeah,
UBI.
yeah,
It
yeah.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like what you do with naming those arenas, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like we have the Rogers Center now. Before it was the Sky Dome.
Yeah.
But speaking
And
of,
isn't it?
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
the
yeah.
Rogers Center isn't Rogers Center now, right? It's isn't it Scotiabank Arena or something, or is that a different place?
Oh no, it's different place. You're thinking about ACC, Air Canada
Oh yeah,
Center.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
ACC is
But
Rogers
it's
Center
not
now.
ACC anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
Right.
but that makes total sense. But see, what happened was that business got bought out. So it's like you're just taking that model, and all of the profits from that partnership go towards paying
Mm-hmm.
people. Whereas right now, what it is, the profits from that partnership go towards paying ACC owner.
Right.
Like that money is like internal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's private money. It's not public money. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I agree with what he's saying, and I think there could be a solid case for UBI. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the talk about UBI has, especially from this, has increased a lot. Even actually, like working 4 days a week versus 5 days a week has also been.
I work 4 days. Like,
It makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, like
you
I work
know.
4 days now because of this COVID thing. Like
Oh,
before,
right. Yeah.
like
No, like
it
as in
wasn't like I was doing that before, but like it's because of COVID.
uh, right. Okay. Yeah. So like normally they're saying like if we shift everything to 4 days work week versus five, right?
Then
So
we'll
yeah, three
limit the
days.
spread.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, New Zealand's doing that.
Right. Yeah. 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 No, I don't know if they're doing that. She was talking about it. She wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't for sure.
Yeah. It's not a thing that they're doing. It's just like their What I don't know if it's whatever they say over there, but it's their leader said mentioned it in one of her videos or something, and then
People are
here
like
someone.
stoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
The, yeah, that yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's a weird adjustment. Like it's only been how long has it been? So maybe like 4 weeks now that I've been on 4 days, and like
Okay.
it's a weird adjustment because like yesterday I was like I thought it was a Friday, and then
Well, yesterday
no, no,
was.
sorry, no, no, sorry. Yesterday I thought it was a Saturday. My bad. I thought yesterday was a Saturday, and I was like, oh man, one more day and I gotta go back to work. But then I was like,
Right.
oh wait, no, 2 more days. You know.
Well, yeah, yeah. Your mind has to adjust to a 3 day weekend, right?
Now, could you imagine reversing that order, being like, now I want everyone to go back on 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
or they might just be like, okay, you can take your pay cut, you can keep everything the same, or you can jump to 5 days and we'll pay you more. It's up to you. You know.
Right, right, right.
Weird world.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where these things go.
So okay, so we don't have UBI right now, but we have Serb, and I feel
Hmm.
like what this is doing is this is supporting a lot of online communities now. Like for instance, that guy. Shout out to you if you're listening to this. What's up? But like him talking about wanting to start a podcast, and then him
Hmm.
asking me like, "Oh, how'd you do yours?" And it's like, yeah, there's going to be many more creators coming out of this because like, what else can you do? What else are you gonna do? Of course, we're gonna have online communities, but that also dilutes the current creators, no?
Yes, in a way, yes.
Right? Because like your biggest creator is now competing with a larger market. Because
Yeah,
everyone's gonna learn how to go online.
yeah. It's more competition.
Yeah, yeah, really fascinating, and like, and I think that the future, because this was like the whole like learn to code thing,
Yeah.
and like it was like a demeaning thing. I actually think that is going to be a necessity, or like not learn to code, but like digital literacy. You know,
Hmm.
I feel like digital literacy is going to be super important going forward. it was already super important, but like you can get away with it. You didn't really need to be that digitally literate. But now like even for something as simple as like schooling, right? You have to be digitally literate to like set up an account, you know,
Yeah,
log
yeah.
on, talk to each other, how it's gonna work.
Look, I think it was already going in that direction, right? Um,
Just it just got sped up, like you were saying.
yeah, everything just got sped up. I feel that's what it is. It's like basically we're trimming off all the things that we didn't really need earlier than we needed to, right?
So again, it's like you're seeing an entirely new world reshape in front of our eyes, and especially the longer that this goes on,
Yeah.
more and more things will be cut back. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I was thinking is that like home care will become more like like I text you this morning. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get some patio stuff for our balcony so we can all hang out there, and like, um, I was like, oh, this is the new thing. It's like people are focusing on their homes because they're home all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's true. Yeah.
like could you imagine? Like, let's say this goes on for 4 more months, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then people spent all this time building a pattern and a life, and then you're told like, okay, it's time to go back.
Right.
Like that. I feel like even in that, it would create an uproar. You know,
Like, right. Yeah.
like people are like, I don't want to go back, or like I want to keep my Serb because I know like people who are like they're making more off Serb than before
And
Serb.
right.
Like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the requirements to get Serb are so loose. It's like, did you make X amount
Mm-hmm.
of money? Did you lose your job because of COVID? Whatever, whatever. And it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
you just have to press yes. There's no crazy.
No, because yeah, the focus was to give out the money as soon as possible, right? So that then they will look back at all of this after the fact and track all that money, and if like they'll be taxed on it later, right?
Totally, totally. But at the same time, it's like
Yeah.
UBI. Like that's like to make
Yeah.
it that
Basic.
accessible. It's
Yeah.
it's essentially UBI.
It's
If
essentially that. Yeah.
if you just do it in perpetuity and you find a way to fund it, then we're living in a time of UBI.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, UBI is probably again where it was going to go. Anyways, it's just now,
sped up.
you know.
I like that.
and-
Actually, that's a really great perspective you just shared, and I didn't even like think of it in that manner. Everything just got sped up. Like everything that we were supposed to be on track for, it just like okay, we were gonna have to revisit our 2008 crisis. Boom, we're in it. We were gonna have to revisit the fact that people have to learn digital literacy. Boom, we're in it. We're gonna have to face the fact that people want UBI. Boom, we're in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's
Basically just
every,
teleported into the future, right?
yeah,
So
basically. Yeah, that's true. Dude, that's so true. It was like that thing I was saying, like Blast from the Past, that movie. It's like they were in the bunker and then they came out, they're boom, blasted into the future. Everything they
yeah,
knew for that amount of years like completely shifted.
yeah, yeah,
I think that is what it is. It's like the new normal is the future. Like, I don't know, how would you say that? It's like you know what I'm saying? It's like we went into this whole COVID thing in hibernation, and then when we come out of it, this new normal is like a fast tracked future that took place over like X amount of months.
yeah, yeah.
Like you really got to see the restructuring right before your eyes. As things every single day, things are changing every single day.
Mm-hmm.
New updates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it in everything. Like you can, if you look at the trends where Amazon was going, right? Then this comes in and it just skyrockets that trend. But that's where it was going,
Yeah, totally.
uh,
Yeah.
right? The things, department stores and things like that were already declining, so that just skyrocketed their decline, or not skyrocket, but whatever.
Fast tracked us.
Fast track their decline as it was going to be anyways.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's the new world is the future.
A digital future, like the new world is completely digital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess not completely because, like, we were talking about essential service workers, but like we are emerging from this in a completely different landscape than when we went in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you think rent prices will drop then? You think it'll be like subsidized maybe, or like I don't know how, because like all right, if so with demand,
Yeah.
actually no, basic economics is higher demand, lower price. No, wait, what? Higher demand, higher prices, lower demand, lower prices. So yes,
Yeah.
so lower demand for renting means lower prices maybe. Like think about it. So downtown Toronto, everyone wanted to live in downtown Toronto because that's where all the jobs are. But if it's online, there's less demand for real
Yeah.
estate in
Yeah.
downtown Toronto, so those prices are going to drop.
Yeah. I was hearing someone talk about that. I don't it, but it's not just about. It's about the location, right? If you everything around there, right? Uh, Like the restaurant, or like I mean, like that it would be more like a takeout, but like the ambiance of that kind of thing, like you're in the heart of the city
But
versus
it's like, but now because of Zoom and all this, like this digital world, it's like what heart
yeah,
of what
yeah.
city? We're all like confined to our houses.
Well, yeah, but that won't be forever, right? It is for
True.
now.
Yeah, true.
It won't be forever. Like even if you do it, like you would only work from home for, but it's with those people that used to be living in the city want to live not in the city. I think the point was to live in the city, right?
You mean like the convenience and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The other all that stuff that comes with it.
Oh, so like
It
jobs
would.
aside, it's like, okay, but I also have everything close quarters to me. I don't need a
Yeah.
car. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally. Yeah. What I think this new world that we're facing is really going to create is like more of a rift between techies and non-techies. It's almost you're gonna have like a class system, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
like almost like how like like third world countries and then first world countries, there's such a huge divide because they don't have the resources we do.
Right.
But I think there's going to be another class system within first world countries, which is like techies and non techies,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Right? Like, even at, all right, let's take it like not at an adult level. Like, because children are the foundation for the future, right? So it's like, you're going to have a kid that have the resources to like understand how technology works, have like, so it's like, oh, you don't even have a Twitch page, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like that might become the new normal in itself, and then you're gonna have a class system where like these kids are like trying to like cool in the future for children will be like techiness. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, it's technically already happening, but yeah.
but again, like you said, like everything got fast
Yeah.
tracked, so it's like
Yeah.
now if your kid doesn't have all of the latest streaming software and like the knowledge and the know-how to actually get themselves online, it's like
Mm-hmm.
again the divide between people who like, for example, like now I'm seeing everyone like, so I follow certain people, and like people who never did live chats on Instagram are doing it now, right? It's like it's because they're trying to catch up to the cool,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so like janky in the way they're doing it because they don't have the knowledge or the expertise that these other people had, and that right there is the divide. That's like the class system right there. You know, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
it's not gonna be rich and poor because we're gonna have UBI. It'll be like techie and non-techie.
Right. Yeah. It's understanding how to use that
Yeah, totally.
in the best way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that we actually exhausted the list. I was like, are we gonna finish it today? Yes, we did. So, do you have any other final thoughts Or like,
No, I'm just. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like we'll see where this goes, and it's gonna be an interesting
oh,
future.
actually, wait, sorry, I thought of one more thing. You know how like I was like, oh, I miss movie theaters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that'll get fast tracked is you can rent movies that are in theaters now, but for your home. But it's really expensive, right? Because you have to license it.
Yeah.
So like only rich people could do it. But I wonder if that's going to be
Oh,
fast tracked. What?
you
What?
mean before? Before you're saying before?
Before, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they were talking about it before on this podcast, like how how you can get this box and then it's the movies that are playing in the theater, but you can play it in your home, but you have to pay like so much money. Like it's very
Okay.
expensive to do it. So I
Right.
wonder
Right.
if they're just gonna fast track it where it's like all of these movies are being like instead of opening up Cineplexes, it'll be like the Cineplex app, and those movies will be there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean they're already doing that, right? There are some things that were
Really?
they're
Like what?
just
Like what?
no, like not big budget ones, but
Oh,
like
okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
you can see it happening where these ones there were supposed to be in theaters, but we'll just put it out on DVD
Digital?
or whatever.
No
Yeah,
way.
digital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, digital, not DVD.
That's
like
happening right now because of COVID.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Put it, put
fascinating.
it put it on iTunes or wherever else. Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah.
like the Capone movie with
Oh, Tom Hardy.
yeah,
Yeah.
supposed to be in theaters, but it's
Oh,
on it's on iTunes or wherever else you can rent things.
but I heard that movie wasn't that good.
Yeah,
So
I know. But I'm just saying, like that would have been in theaters, right?
interesting. And then all you have to do is you put it on iTunes, and then to watch the movie, you pay the ticket price. You know, like
Yeah,
14.99.
whatever. Yeah, yeah, whichever. I don't know if it will be a same price as a ticket or whatever the rental price is, or you buy it. I don't know if I think that maybe you'll be able to buy it right away.
Interesting. So it'll be like the $30 whatever.
Yeah,
Like
whatever.
like as if it's like you're purchasing the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah, straight to DVD because no more. Yeah, that'll change like the whole press run. You know, they have press tours when movies come
Hmm.
out and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll change. Interesting.
uh, yeah. That will shift. You can't really do that the same way.
I
They
really
wouldn't want to bring them traveling around the world.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, I I like that. That's the best summary of like what you said
Hmm.
of like the new normal coming out of this is really just a fast track to the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
you
think the
really see
first
it. You really see it.
there's yeah, you do see it. Yeah. But they're saying I think Christopher Nolan's movie might be the first one
Oh yeah, yeah, I
in
saw that. I
theaters.
saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Tenet's one of the first ones in theaters. But what if they don't open up?
Yeah, that's why the new trailer that came out says will be in theaters soon or something like that. So
Oh,
they can't.
really?
Originally, the date was July, I think it was, and so they can't lock down on a date. I think as of now until whenever they reopen it, but it will be in theaters. That's what they're saying.
Wow.
So it
Okay.
might be when it might be the first one that'll be there when they will reopen.
But you know, like movie theaters is the one last experience that I really loved, where it's like you go to this place and you can you're fully because the screen is so big, you're fully immersed in it. The sound is so loud, like you shut down your phone for like that hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Whereas like if you're at home, it's like okay, I can just check my phone really quick. Oh, put it on pause. I'm going to the bathroom. You know what I mean? It's like you're not like locked in. It's not an event. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, for me, it was different, right? Like when I'm into the movie, I'm into the movie.
True, true.
And I'm
Yeah,
just,
okay. That's true. That's true.
I
That's
guess
true. Yeah.
it works differently for different people. But yeah, I think that there will be still theaters around, just not as many.
Right. It's the social thing that I really liked that
Yeah.
you're missing from like doing it digitally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when the crowd goes, like the reactions of the crowd.
Yeah,
It adds to
exactly.
the influence, yeah, or the experience. Not
Yeah. And then like
yeah,
at the end when somebody claps and you're like, oh wow. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, totally. Now, yeah, I will miss that if it goes.
It will just it'll come back for some time though.
So do you think it's all right? Final thing. Do you think um it's like we're at this point where there's no return, or do you think it'll normalize back to how it was like 5 years down the
No.
line, 10 years down the line,
Oh, you mean like before?
before this whole thing
No,
happened?
no. There will be changes that will happen that will stay forever.
So you really
For
do
this,
think we're facing a new world?
hmm yeah, yeah. It just fast tracked everything. But yes,
Yeah.
like
But
some of these companies were gonna die anyways, right?
totally. But again, it was like if we stopped it for 2 weeks and then everything went back to normal, no, nothing would have changed. But
Right.
we really are at the point of no return.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are. You can already see it. The damage has been done. So
Yeah. It's a deep cut. It's a deep
yeah,
cut.
yeah,
Like, and the longer this goes on, it's like the deeper and deeper the cut goes.
yeah. Almost every day you're hearing about these bigger stores closing down. So many of them, right?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
So yeah, this will. It has changed. So, and it will stay.
Yeah. But all you can really do is like learn to surf. Cause like,
At this point, yeah.
yeah, like nothing's settled, right? Actually,
No.
you
Yeah.
know, it'd be a crazy bust. Like at the end of this, like if, like let's say 6 months down the line, everything's exactly the way it once was. That would be ridiculous. I'd be like, wow, that was a total anticlimactic experience. It's almost like we
Mhm.
went. It was like a big nap. You know, we went into like a sleep. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a new normal. It's more like we just took a nap for a bit, which would suck. Like that would be kind of crappy. Because I'm excited. Yeah.
I mean, there will be some things that will come back, but there is a lot of changes that's already happened, right? Like some people want some of these things that they had before. Maybe like Frosh and these sort of things, they will come back, right? But
Oh,
like,
right, right. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
yeah,
But no. You know what it is? The market will decide.
that's true. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mainly about the market.
It's there's this theory, um, this like economic principle called the invisible hand, and what it
Mm-hmm.
is like we think we know something, but it's really the market is guiding what it is we do. It's the invisible
Yeah,
hand that's pushing us, and it's
yeah, yeah,
like that is, yeah, you're right. It's like things will come back, but it's like the market will decide what comes back and doesn't come back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Good one. Yeah. New normal. Hopefully UBI. And at the end of this, we'll see what the market demands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Till next week. Uh, yeah, pick up stuff on zenrealclothingco.com or check out the free playlist. But if you're going to pick something up, use SG Podcasts at checkout for select item. 20% off select items. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.